What's good, y'all? And what's up, combatants? Welcome back to my studios. Now, someone on Twitter actually sent me a DM of doing this topic on here. And I'm glad that I'm doing them a favor because I feel like, as much as I'm excited about this sequel, I just want them to just go all out. You know what I'm saying? In terms of fight scenes and storylines and all of that, and the good writing, because we got some big names on this project. You got German Slayer. You got Ed Boom on board. When he saw the script, he gave them the green light. And not to mention, Tom Garner. He even said that in the past that they're not going to be doing any more jump cuts and quick edits in terms of the fight scenes like it happened in the first movie that came out in 2021. But besides that, I'm just excited that we're finally getting some big names that were not in the first movie. Johnny Cage, Katana, Jade, Noob Saibot, Shao Kahn, King Jarrett, you name it. And plus, our tournament is going to be in it, and we're going to be getting some new costumes. Like, if you look at my videos when I be covering all of the behind the scenes stuff of NetherRealm, Ordania, the pit stage, the Deadpool stage, like you name it, I cover all of that. Me, Future Boy Who, and all the other Mortal Kombat content creators that I know, they're all doing the exact same thing. And honestly, like I said, I just don't want it. Like, I don't want to be disappointed again. Though, even though I did enjoy the first movie because of the fatalities, unlike the 95 movie, but I just want them to just take their time with it. And already everybody on Twitter is begging for a trailer ever since they dropped production last month. I'm like, really? Are y'all that pressed for a trailer? Like, Todd Garner just said that you're not going to get it during the Super Bowl. You're going to get it later this year. So just be patient and just be happy about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm grateful, for everything that they've done behind the scenes. So it says 8 reasons Mortal Kombat 2 will be better than the 2021 movie, and I agree. And one of the key elements that it will be better than the first film because it lacked Johnny Cage. Guess what? The second film has Carl Urban as Johnny Cage. I mean, come on, be grateful, be appreciative that your boy is finally in it. From the details that have already been released about Mortal Kombat 2, the next film franchise based off the fighting game of the same name seems to be committed to improvement. Mortal Kombat in 2021 was a bit of a shaky start from a revival of Mortal Kombat's first presence, which hadn't seen a full live action entry since 1997's Mortal Kombat Annihilation. While the reboot of the series got some things right, such as a well choreographed fight scenes and R rating, laid it on the higher end of the Mortal Kombat films. There was a Paul, okay, whoever writing these things, I cannot pronounce this word. Paul Baby Paul. Every time I try to say these words, like I can't even get it out, man. Like, room for improvement. But honestly, I feel like with Mortal Kombat Annihilation, that was the end of the road for the Mortal Kombat series. Though the 95 movie was not even that perfect, but I appreciated a lot of what they've done of getting some things right from the video games. I mean, it's iconic, especially the iconic theme song. There were several disappointing aspects of the 2021 Mortal Kombat. Some fans weren't sold on the new protagonist Koyan. I agreed because I never liked that guy anyway. A random martial artist created specifically for the film to be a stop good guy despite sharing the screen with the likes of Scorpion and Liu Kang. Others admonish the film's strange application of magic systems that hand-wave the virus fighter's powers, going in the face of established Mortal Kombat lore. Luckily, details about Mortal Kombat 2 seem to subject some much needed improvement, I guess you could say. But you know what? Here's the thing. The number one thing I am not the biggest fan of is the word Arcana. Just to activate your power from the game. Man, look, the first writer of that film, I understand that he was the big fan of that, the franchise, but why on listen, why on God's name would you even want to put the word Arcana just to unlock their power? I mean, they could have been had their powers from the beginning. It's kind of dumb, and I don't like it. Only ever teased towards the end of the first film, fan favorite hero Johnny Cage will be making a much anticipated return to the movies in Mortal Kombat 2. Though the character was originally inspired by Jean-Claude Van Damme, Cage will be played this time around by Carl Urban, known most notably as Billy the Butcher in Amazon's The Boys. Legend said that his presence with over-the-top violence and impeccable comedic timing offers a lot of promises as the crass Johnny Cage. And when you think about it, I watched some of his acting reel from The Boys. You can tell he was perfect for the role of Johnny Cage, but they might give him a older version of the character, old and washed up, after having, what I'm saying, after making movies since the 90s, since the first Mortal Kombat film. Like, you don't know when is the right time to retire from acting. I think that's the kind of version that they're going with Carl Urban's Johnny Cage, because Johnny is in his 50s, and so is Carl. So if they ended up going with that version, I think that could also make a lot of sense. Johnny Cage is a young, cocky son of a gun that we all know and love about him. But in this version, he's old, washed up, and doesn't know when to retire from acting. Because in Hollywood, your ego will rise up to the max. You don't care about anybody but yourself because you're famous, you're rich, and you don't care what the haters have to say, but eventually you do. Like, can you imagine them putting that type of plot into the film about Johnny Cage while entering the tournament? Lord knows that Johnny is going to be the most talked about character in the film. So, casual audiences may have been confused by Sub-Zero's status as a villain in Mortal Kombat, considering the character is one of the franchise's flagship ninjas. But this iteration of Bihan is actually fairly reminiscent of the character's original story from the games, eventually culminating in Sub-Zero's transformation into the shadowy, undead villain fan favorite Noob Saibot. With Sub-Zero's actor share the return as Noob Saibot, it seems as though Bihan's decent, well, yeah, decent into Netherworld will be a chronicle, I guess chronicle in Mortal Kombat 2. So basically, this part is saying that Noob Saibot is confirmed to be making his debut in Mortal Kombat 2. So I think he did made some rare appearances in Mortal Kombat Annihilation, but he only lasted like a few seconds, and so did the movie. So, if y'all don't know, I absolutely despise Annihilation because the film and the characters got annihilated altogether. I mean, I just don't like the film. It was bad, it was terrible. Zendaya's actress was bad for that iconic line that became a meme throughout the years. Mortal Kombat somewhat wasted its use of the Vow Sorcerer Shank song as the film's primary villain, presenting an underwhelming and forgettable version of one of the video game's series' most iconic antagonists. However, the presence of the demonic character Quan Chi in the cast list offers a chance at redemption. In the games, Quan Chi is also, well, I guess you can say he was the one that manipulated Sub-Zero into killing Scorpion's family. But it wasn't Bihan, it was basically Quan Chi alone. And honestly, can you honestly imagine if Scorpion finds out that another Sub-Zero is going to be entering the tournament, which will make Quan Chi debut in the tournament as well? Like, I want to see the fight between Scorpion and Quan Chi, so that way he'll find out some new information from whoever, and he'll take his anger out on Quan Chi in the tournament. Like, bruh, something tells me that once the trailer comes out later this year, I think all of our questions will be answered. Despite the main cast of Mortal Kombat being warned about the dangerous implications of an Outworld tournament win, the film never provides a glimpse into the leadership of political motivation of the barbaric dimension, cutting out a massive important chunk of the Mortal Kombat mythos. Thankfully, Queen Sindel, General Shao Kahn, and the ill-fated King Jarrett are all slated to make their debut in Mortal Kombat 2. Each iconic figures of the franchise in their own right. Sindel in particular will have big heels to fill after infamously hammy performances in Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Was not just saying that because of the iconic moment where she was like, "Too bad you will die." I can't get that moment out of my head for some odd reason because that was so bad. Like, I don't think you understand how much I despise the movie and the character. But just having this version of Sindel in the Mortal Kombat movie will benefit the franchise in the right way possible. So I'm up for it. Shao Kahn is also in this movie, well, in this film as well. And his actor, he's in love with the character. He knows Mortal Kombat. He's a big fan of it. He loves Shao Kahn, the character. So if anybody that is big of a fan, is his actor himself. Having co-created the very first Mortal Kombat game and been the unquestionable captain of the franchise since its inception in the arcades in 1892, Ed Boon is synonymous with the series. Boon didn't have much involvement in the 2021 film, and his absence was shortly felt, with baffling changes to the established Mortal Kombat conventions that the creator likely wouldn't have let slide. This time around, Boon will be working closely with the writers to ensure their vision for the gory world of the games make a smoother translation to theaters. And I'm glad that A Boom is a part of this franchise because without him, this film would have been the most questionable choices in the franchise to make because the first film was bad because of everything, the writing, but the fight scenes between Scorpion and Sub-Zero was great. As far as like them jump cuts and editing out certain things with Jax and Liu Kang in them, that was a red flag to me. Raiden was a bit disappointment because I felt like he could have involved more, and I didn't like that at all. So hopefully, when the trailer comes out later this year, it'll be somewhat the most talked about trailer on Twitter because you know it's going to be trending like crazy when the trailer comes out. So you know I'm going to be doing my story on this and my reaction to the trailer and my overall thoughts because you know how I am when it comes to me bringing facts and opinions on this. So I'm glad that Air Boom is a part of Mortal Kombat 2 as a whole because we really do need someone who knows about Mortal Kombat than to bring somebody who doesn't know about the franchise that can just create their own version of it, which is a biggest worries to some fans. Okay, so let's talk about Cole Young for a moment. I hate this character. Why? because it's original. It did not need to be in it because if you're gonna focus on the established characters from Mortal Kombat, stick to it, stick by it, instead of just like adding in Cole Young because it was very unnecessary for you to do that because it was the one that broke the camel's back the most. So in Mortal Kombat 2, he's not going to be the main focus, thank God. I think Liu Kang is going to be the main focus because he's going to be the one that is chosen to defeat Shang Tsung in the tournament. And Johnny Cage can have his moment too. So why not just make both Liu Kang and Johnny Cage the focus of the film? Because that can also work too. Just saying. Mortal Kombat universe is made up of many realms that all covers around the titular tournament, including Earthrealm, Outworld, and Hellish Netherrealm. However, there are far from the only three dimensions in the game. Mythos worthy of a movie adaptation, and Garner is committed to taking suggestions from the fans. In a poll on Twitter, Garner seemed to take fans' suggestions that Ardinia, the less tranquil Indian-like world, will be making an appearance in Mortal Kombat 2, and I'm glad they're doing that because Queensland, Australia is known to be the most beautiful place on earth because I've seen the images, I've seen the oceans, I've seen the islands, I've seen the beaches. Dog, you cannot sit there and tell me that Ardinia cannot be the area to make a place out of in Australia because of it. It makes a lot of sense. And I'm glad that they're actually putting that in the film. The Mortal Kombat series is named after a cross-dimensional Mortal Kombat tournament in which representatives of various realms competed in hand-to-hand combat for the right to avoid whatever. While 2021's Mortal Kombat centered around this test of might, the film failed to pay off the promise of its premise, never actually showing the tournament. Since this letdown, the second film has confirmed that the Mortal Kombat tournament will actually be happening, ensuring fans aren't strong for another disappointment. And I'm glad that Tom Garner is actually doing this and confirming this because I feel like the 2021 film felt like a prequel because not every game has to have a tournament for the most part. And honestly, I'm glad that they're actually stepping up to ensure fans that they won't be disappointing. And thankfully, all of that is going to change when the trailer comes out because you know the fans are in for a treat, and I'm definitely here for it. Let me just say this right here. As a long-time Mortal Kombat fan, I'll just stay with that we have people like Tom Garner that actually listens and understands the fans' concerns, excitement, and opinions because whatever questions you ask him, he'll give you the best answers out there. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're going to a therapist and you're struggling with life or you don't know what to do. You ask them questions and they'll give you the best solutions and answers. That's how Tom Garner is with the Mortal Kombat community because he knows real fans will appreciate whatever comes to them. We may not like it, but we definitely understand certain business decisions behind the scenes stuff. So, yeah. Link to the original article will be down below. And shout out to the person on Twitter who actually DM'd me this title. So, yeah, I'm out.